Welcome back. So Aitzaz, we've been talking about lots of interesting things. So what about free and fair elections? Do you see a free and fair election in whether it's October this year or January next year?
Well, actually, Pakistan, unfortunately, I think is now so totally in the grip of elements and agencies that can subvert elections. And they do it almost as a reflex action. There is an inertia. You start an electoral process and there are agencies and elements in the system itself that will start the counter.
They're running on autopilot.
They're running on autopilot, absolutely, kind of thing. So it's a difficult, it's a tall order. The general is himself now already soliciting votes for a political party, the King's Party. He's choosing the resources of the presidency and the resources of the government to address political meetings, to say, please vote for Engineer Amir Maqam, please vote for
And the Election Commission is not doing anything about it.
And the Election Commission is helpless.
Are you petitioning them? Do you send them letters and say you're missing a spot
The party
here?
has sent him letters and to the Election Commission, but we hear nothing in response to those. How fair they can be, they will be, is very difficult to say. I think it's, they will, if we go by the polling day itself, by and large,
it's fair.
It's not really interfered with.
But all the interference takes place way before.
Before and after. Yeah. Now they've started, notifying the man who lost.
Oh, you won. Sorry, we counted you won by a vote.
Yeah. that's it. And the one who had actually won and has been declared as having lost, then has,
gets a visa for some exotic country and gets sent abroad.
That also happens if he's lost from a billionaire. That's
I think I want to run this election and see what happens. But assuming that there is an election and it's as fair and free as can be, given all the circumstances that you've outlined. Now, Nawaz Sharif has said that he's not going to participate in the elections, but your party hasn't yet taken a final decision. I mean, do you see yourselves participating? Are you gearing up for the elections?
I think I see myself myself meaning our party, the Pakistan People's Party, participating for one particular reason. We boycotted the 1985 elections and we sort of were sitting out in the cold until 1988 really. There was a parliament, it may have been a virtual parliament, but it was a parliament with people focused on it, and it did raise some important issues. So we do not want to forego or abdicate from any forum, and particularly a parliamentary forum. And in 1971 and 1972, in fact, in the Asma Jilani case, an interesting sort of question-answer took place between Justice Hamood Rahman and the great Manzoor Qadir.
Right.
Manzoor Qadir had been arguing that Yahya Khan was illegal, a usurper, which the court ultimately held, and that everything he had done was invalid. So Chief Justice Hamood Rahman suddenly surprised Mr. Manzoor Qadir with the question. He said, but Mr. Manzoor Qadir, were we to accept your, what you are saying, and were we to be persuaded by you, then everything that Yahya Khan has done would be illegal, including the elections he has held and the assembly that has been, the assemblies that are a product of those elections. How would you confront that? Now, Manzoor Qadir wanted to save the assemblies. He said, immediately, I was there in that room, he said, my lords, and this was reported, this is contained in the judgment, Hamood Rahman's judgment. Manzoor Qadir said, my lords, as long as the people give an answer, it matters not who put the question.
Ooh, I love that. That's great. What a great answer.
It was electric in the courtroom. So that's how the assemblies were saved. The people had given an answer. So I think we'll go with the ARD primarily, but I think the opinion at this moment in the party is that we should not hold back from any contest, and more so not, even if we are a minority, not be out of parliament, where we can play an effective role in exposing government.
So nice. The people have spoken, and the PMLQ emerges as the largest single party, and you emerge as the second largest single party. Do you see yourself power sharing with them?
No, I doubt that very much.
You don't?
No, I don't see myself power sharing, particularly, a PMLQ sort of government implies a continuation of the system as it is today, exactly, virtually, including General Musharraf, including uniform. I don't see myself...
Yourself personally or the party?
Both. I don't see us and myself going along with that.
But suppose
we'll be in the opposition in that case.
But you're in the opposition now.
We are in the opposition now. But
it's not a happy place to be.
It's not a happy place to be, but we have to do our duty according to our conscience.
But how long can you stay in opposition? I mean, you can't stay in opposition forever. People in your party, in other provinces, are really concerned about being in opposition.
I don't know. I personally think that having been in opposition has built us up enormously, and we'll have, I think personally, make a very good showing in the next election, and I think we will be able to make our own government with a majority, and we will not be dependent on Q.
Oh, that's nice and optimistic, but assuming that you don't make your own government, and the PMLQ do have a slight edge over you, do you see more defections from your party?
Maybe the defections are some personal choices. People who are joining us now may be looking for better pastures. Is
that what politics is all about, looking for better pastures?
Well, many of them do that, unfortunately.
You know, they say about greenbacks and green pastures.
Greenbacks and green pastures. But, the patriots, the so-called patriots, Pakistan People's Party
missiles,
patriots.
They go anywhere.
Yeah, they did leave after all. We have to live with that reality. But I think there will be a vast majority who will just stick on through opposition, through thick or thin.
So what you're saying is that there's an ideological problem with joining a government like the PMLQ, which would continue the same policies that it is today, and which has a president in uniform. You have an ideological issue with that?
Absolutely. I mean, as I said earlier, it's the structure they've devised now is where the civilian prime minister will sit at the feet of the military president.